everyone, and welcome to Happy Grateful Self. My name is Bern, and today I'm going to be sharing with you an article that I did just recently, and the article is basically about my goals, because I have been sharing my goals with you on my platform, and I made the decision, or why I've decided to drastically change my goals. So I'm going to read my article to you. I'm using my phone to read my article. You can find it on Happy Grateful Self on Instagram. And then you just click the link tree and go to the latest blog. And it'll take you to the article. And so I'm going to go ahead and read it. I hope you enjoy my perspective. So why I've decided to drastically change my goals. In this article, or in this video, I want to talk about how my goals will drastically change in the next year. I feel like I'm at a crossroads with my goals and my life, and I've decided to make some changes. 2020 has really taught me a lot about goal setting, and honestly, my 2020 goals were good, but now I feel that next year's goals for 2021 and moving forward will be quite different. I had about 50 goals that I was... Yeah!
Where'd you put the box with the batteries?
They're right here.
Sorry, I didn't mean to mess up your video.
It's okay. Okay, so where was I? So I was saying that I had about 50 goals that I was going to roll over into the upcoming year. But after all that has happened this year, I found that they were no longer relevant to my life. I would have to start over with new goals compared to last year because things have changed. My outlook has changed, and what was written was no longer aligned to what I want to realistically do in my life. So what 2020 has taught me. In a previous YouTube video, I did share my 2020 goals and my future goals, many of which were very focused on money and net worth and traveling. Well, 2020 has been a huge wake-up call for me, and I believe for many others. It taught me that maybe my goals were not as aligned to my life as I thought they were. 2020 has taught me that perhaps this life of mine shouldn't be so strict and dependent on money and making more money. And that money and traveling is not the answer to make me a happier person or to teach me or for me to reach my higher self purpose or the better version of me in this lifetime. Maybe God has another route planned for me than doing just that. This year I have also learned being more present. So this year I have also learned that maybe I need to be more present in my life. I can do this by not always thinking about the future or the past. And this is basically what a goal is. It is future oriented. And if I'm always focused on the future, then how can I truly be present with myself? I also learned that I cannot always be sharing every part of my life on social media. That's really not being present either, because it causes me to linger very much so into the past. And I believe we all do it. We rewatch our stories and our posts, and being present means being in the moment and taking a picture with your mind instead of an actual camera or phone. A moment in time is fleeting, and being present is one that requires attention to what you are doing or merely existing and appreciating what is. Listening to the self. I was just walking earlier today and realized that I have become very dependent on certain things. For example, just going on that walk, I felt that I had to be listening to someone or listening to a podcast or listening or learning something. It made me realize that I have been listening to many others more than I ever listened to myself. It is true. Many times I find myself watching people's lives for hours except my own. I listen to the thoughts of others on podcasts and in books except my own. How will I ever know myself best? This was an indication that it is time for me to become familiar with myself again. What are Bern's thoughts on this? And no one else. What new ideas does Bern have? So on that walk from earlier today, I didn't listen to anything and enjoyed the quiet of the walk and let myself ride with my own ideas and thoughts. It was great. I'm learning that I have to focus on where I am planted and what I'm doing, vice where I want to go. Again, goals is where you're going. I realize I have to stop being so future oriented because it removes the joy of where I am in this moment. Why can't I just appreciate where I am now? Do I have to keep wanting more? The grass is greener. Where? I am learning from 2020 that the grass is greener, not on the other side or on your side. The grass is greener where you plan to have it watered. It is greener where you give it attention and maintenance and true care. Don't forget to do the simple steps first before wanting something that appears perfect or shiny or... Focus on your own efforts. You will reap what you sow. Sometimes we may find ourselves paying more attention to other people's yards than our own. We may be focusing on the final product and not the process, or on other people's blessings and not our own. So try to change that. Aligning to your life's journey. Sometimes the goals we set in place for ourselves are not always aligned with our lives. This may be because you're just creating a wish list of things you want in your life, or you think you want. You may also be admiring the life of another person whose journey is different from yours. When this is done, unrealistic goals tend to be created that are not specifically designed for the life you have based on the choices you have made. Instead, you want to align your goals, if you decide to have any, more realistically to what you are currently experiencing. For example, if you own a house, then you should make goals that are related to your house, not necessarily goals for your dream house. You should be able to focus on what you have and build on it, vice creating something from thin air. I've come to a realization that I have a huge money deficit blueprint in me. It's something I've been struggling with lately, and the financial goals I had were not realistically attainable for my current situation. And this only brings disappointment, which can dampen my self-confidence and self-esteem. Being flexible to God's plan for you. The main update I would like to emphasize on the changes of my goals would be to consider that God has a plan for my life and that we are co-creating a universe of magnificence. My main takeaway is to remain flexible. Always keep the communication open between you and your higher power. Ask questions about everything. I've decided not to have my goals set in stone and to remain open to what God has planned for me. And that's it. If you enjoyed this article, you may also like my other article or video, Things You Shouldn't Feel Guilty For. And yeah, if you would like to keep in contact with me, you can find me on IG. My website is happygratefulself.com. My IG is happygratefulself. And that's it. Thank you for listening. Bye.